Our time is one of our most scarce and precious resources. Each day can only offer us so many hours, and we have to choose wisely how we fill such hours. And I feel that if we take a moment to reflect on how it is we currently spend our time, we may realize that much of the way we spend this time is in ways that don't truly fulfill us. I think many of us unconsciously allow time to slip away, without us really noticing. And I'm not suggesting that we should become obsessed with productivity. Life isn't about maximizing every moment like a machine. But I think if we can cultivate this capacity to hold a gentle awareness throughout our days, um, we will find that we will start orienting in a much more meaningful manner. And I think we can do this psychologically if we just imagine each day as though it were our last. And if we approached every morning, we woke up and thought, what would I do if this was my final day on this earth? You know, naturally, you may find yourself doing different things. You may find that your actions, your relationship to each moment would be different. You would probably find yourself engaging much more meaningfully with the things that you're doing. You're treating every moment with a deeper sense of profundity, a deeper sense of, well, significance and reverence, even. And, you know, and you will come to see all the trivial distractions that we often fill our days with as pointless, and they would lose their appeal. Instead of scrolling aimlessly through our phones, numbing ourselves with meaningless entertainment, we may decide to turn our attention to what truly matters to us. And our life, after all, is shaped by the actions that we do daily. And to lead a meaningful life, therefore, we must engage in meaningful activities. And this means taking our time seriously, approaching each day with intention, and dedicating your energy in pursuits that resonate truly with you. How much of our lives do we spend on things that don't truly satisfy us? Work that doesn't align with our values, entertainment which distracts rather than enriches. And our world that we live in, it doesn't encourage us to pursue what is most meaningful. Instead, I would say it offers us endless distractions, endless shiny objects that tempt us towards quick pleasures and empty pursuits. Many of us, we follow a conventional career path working for organizations that don't care about us, alongside colleagues who are just focused on their own goals within systems which prioritize profit over people. And the institutions around us, they are often oriented to the extraction of value without really considering or contributing to our psychological, spiritual growth or our well-being. And even though there are these big macro factors, of course, the institutions, which are not conducive towards human flourishing, as individuals, we all have the power to change internally from our first primary direct experience of life. We can take ownership of that. We can take ownership of what we spend our time doing and what we give our energy to. And this, like I said, this begins with a simple question. You know, what am I doing right now? What do I do with my time? And of all the things that I do in a day, of all these activities, are these activities serving me? Are they energizing me? Or are they draining me? You see, our energy is scarce, it's finite, and we have to really allocate it in a deliberate and precious manner such that we don't expend it in frivolous ways and just waste it. Everything we do, every movement of our organism requires energy. And if we are expending that energy on things which don't matter, we are essentially wasting a part of ourselves. And I say this not to alarm, but to awaken you, to allow you to cultivate within yourself a conscious direction of your energies towards what is most meaningful to you. And this will allow you to align yourself with a life that feels much more purposeful. You know, each of us knows deep down where we may be wasting our time, wasting our energy. We all have activities and habits which don't serve us. And we also know there are things that we could do to help reclaim our energy, towards doing something better, I think in this context of time and energy, we should think about sleep. Sleep is vital, and yet we often neglect it. It's essentially the period of our lives where we are restoring our bodies and integrating our experiences and preparing for the day ahead. But our culture, it seems to glorify functioning on little sleep, filling that sleep gap with stimulants like coffee. But sacrificing sleep, it's not a sustainable way to live. Lack of sleep, it diminishes your cognitive abilities, it affects your memories, and it can even impair your emotional well-being. And you should ask yourself, why am I willing to operate with such an avoidable impairment? When we're well rested, we're less likely to seek out short-term pleasures and distractions. We have the energy to devote ourselves to things which truly matter, to the work that fulfills us on a deeper level. I think as well, our culture has a tendency to prize getting something for nothing. But I think if we think about this, real fulfillment, it doesn't come from easy achievements. It comes from effort, it comes from sacrifice, and from working towards something that feels significant. True work is not about simply earning a paycheck or advancing in a corporate ladder. It's about engaging in activities which align with your values and which bring out the best in you. You see, we often think, many of us think we at a life of just pure leisure, like sipping drinks on a beach. We feel that is ideal, that's eudaimonic, that's flourishing. But if you really seriously contemplate it, it's a life without purpose. It leaves you feeling empty. And I think that to truly live, you have to balance leisure with authentic work. You know, our goal with thinking about this, about our allocation of time and energy towards that which is most meaningful. The goal isn't just productivity for productivity's sake. It's about creating something of genuine value, not just for yourself, but for others and the world around you. So, to conclude this, I want to ask you, is your life right now creating good? Is it creating value? Or are you just going through the day, going through the motions? And I think it's really worth sitting with these questions, even if they're uncomfortable, even if they're confronting, but ultimately they are an invitation from your higher self to encourage you to pay attention and to move your life towards a more sincere alignment with deeper purpose and deeper meaning. And I'll leave that at that. Enjoy the rest of your day. Boop, boop, boop.